Yeah.
Hey, hello, what's up? Look, Manny's in the house already. Good job. Awesome.
What's
Let's see
Elaine
what else.
saying? I have a call tomorrow with my first 2 HUD agents. Is there anything I need to tell them before making bids? What kind of work?
Well, we're already getting questions. What's up with that?
Do you have the HUD Mastery kit? Because there's a little bit of some relationship building that you need to do. That's explained in that course before you just go all willy-nilly asking people to submit bids for you.
That's true. You've got to be careful, and they're not going to just start submitting bids right off the bat, right? That's not going to happen. So you got to build a little bit of relationship with them, right? Very, very important.
And HUD Mastery explains that. It goes through how to do that relationship build. Just for you, Elaine.
Elaine is buying today.
Oh, okay, perfect.
I'm buying today. Good job. Keep up the good work. So please share this video. This is Bragg, the Bragg Show. Be rich and generous. Paul Wells is in the house from Southern California. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Good to see you. I hadn't seen you in years. We used to travel. Remember when on the National Ria cruises? We would go to all these Caribbean places and hang out. Back when I used to drink, when I would travel.
You make it sound like you were an alcoholic.
I drank like 1 or 2 drinks.
Yeah, your version of drinking was like one. What is it? I don't even remember what you used to drink, but it's been so long. But it was like 1 or 2. It's not like back when I used to drink, you know. Make it sound so much worse. Yes, Manny, I do feel better. However, I'm starting to get a headache from this one.
Wait a minute. Manny's talking about one of our deals. What is that?
He just said something about me feeling better, and he's already posting something else.
Something about our deals. Larry is the house, 3-bedroom house, 314 Clegg. 314 Clegg.
No, that's not the deal of the week.
Yeah, did I even do a deal of the week? Did I? I didn't put it up here. I forgot, but we got several. We could do deals of the week. That's not a problem. So, yeah, Paul Wells in the house. Kenny Culver in the house. What's up, Kenny? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Paul says I drink scotch. I used to drink, what was it? Cran apple vodka. That's what it was. Okay, but I haven't had a drink in about 3 years. Right?
Yeah, it's been over 3 now.
Yeah. Here's my drinking now. Agua.
So are you going to talk about that today?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, Larry, Kandas.
Dennis, how are you?
What's up, Dennis? How you been? Right. Lisette, hello. What's up? Sean from St. Pete Beach. I love that place. That's a beautiful area. Are you
really asking him who's the wholesale king these days? Don't you think he's going to say himself is the wholesale king? That's all we do right now.
That's all we do.
He's got a few books out, Paul. If you forgot.
There you go. So, and then here's the HUD book, freehudbook.com.
You remember this guy? You remember that face?
Right?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right, we got to move on here.
Yeah, we do.
All right, please share the video. Give us some great scripts. Awesome. So please share this. I really appreciate it if you guys would share this with your friends, with your listeners, with your followers, with all your people. Kahisha's in the house. Hey, what's up? How you doing? So Kahisha is on here, but Brian's never on here. I'm a little disappointed. You tell him he's got to watch this, and he'll see me calling him out.
You have a bromance.
Right?
You have a bromance with Brian. You're always, where's Brian? Brian? Why does Brian not watch me?
Shut up.
And that's a yes.
Oh, so let's see. That was a softball for my man in the what? I don't even know what that's about.
Maybe more happened during your drinking days than you let on.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Oh, my shirt is for South Carolina. Let me move it to. It's South Carolina basketball. So my husband's a huge basketball fan. We watch a lot of all kinds of sports. But my youngest daughter's want to go to South Carolina to play basketball. So we've taken her to some women's games lately. and been involved with their program and things like that. So supporting South Carolina women's basketball today.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Tell them what's in the investors kit.
Well, here's the thing about the investors kit. The investors kit is under a little bit of a renovation because it was on an old platform. We're moving it to a new platform, so access to it at the moment is not happening. The page is having to be rebuilt and the links added back to it. Now, when we do have the access back up, it'll have the digital version of HUD Homes Half Off, the digital version of the real estate day trading book, training webinars for the Filthy Riches model, the Ultimate Buying Machine model.
Right.
Go Cox, that's right. The Hard Money Millions webinar, all kinds of trainings and things like that. Just different links to a bunch of different education stuff. So you guys can call 877-LARRY-GO to get that free kit, but do give us a little bit of grace while we are updating that platform and getting the links back active for you.
Awesome. That sounds good. I got to take some notes over here. So you can still call 877-LARRY-GO to get your free investor kit, right?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and put you on the list. I mean, go ahead and give you the access, and as soon as it's back up, you'll be able to log in and get it. It shouldn't take but another day or two. I just found out there was an issue about it yesterday.
Announce the share winner. I brought in a copy of what they get. So we're going to mail this out to the share winner, the share sponsor winner.
Look, his face again. That's the original face of the Goins group.
This is the real estate day trading and jumpstart right here, right? And last week's share sponsor winner is Michael Jake Jackson. That's exactly the way it was on Facebook.
Are you sure?
I spelled it. I looked at it specifically.
If that's
so,
you,
Michael,
you need to send an email in to customerservice@larrygoins.com, and we will get this out to you.
Mail this. Candace is going to deliver it in person.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. But I will mail it to you personally.
There you go. It will have her fingerprints all over it.
Yep.
Right? Right.
Not now, because I'm going to wipe it down. You make it sound creepy. It's not going to have any fingerprints on it now. I'll put gloves on before I start messing with it.
It's going to be this one right here.
You make everything so weird.
Okay. We do have a few seats left for our upcoming 3-day event.
Yeah, you guys better hurry, though, because there's only a week left to register.
Right. It's not this weekend, but it's next Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yep.
For 3 full days. I'm going to be teaching everything about marketing, networking, about analyzing deals, marketing as far as every way to find a deal, every way to fund a deal, every way to close a deal. We're going to talk about asset protection, entity structuring, tax planning, self-directed retirement accounts, how to take a really small account and grow it into a huge account, starting with as little as $500. We're going to talk all about that. Many other things, automation, CRMs. We're going to talk about direct mail, about pay-per-click advertising. What else do I talk about? Do I train on?
Well, most of the time I catch about half of what you're saying, honestly. So I don't even know how to describe the amount of information. All I know is that people come in and they're hyper and they're happy. They leave like they've been drinking from a fire hose all day. Especially after 3 days. Hey, Scott.
Look, Scott's in the house. What's up? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Glad you're feeling better.
Oh, yeah. I was getting ready to say the same thing. I'm really glad you're feeling better. Glad you're doing well.
So these 3-day events, there's a multitude of information. I don't even know if that's the right word I'm going to use. There's a massive amount of information that he gives out at these.
Gargantuan.
Okay. Of information that he gives out at these 3 days. So, and it's education. If that's where you need to start, then this event is where you need to be. It is education. It's now he does start out with some ground level stuff, but he also gives a lot of good information to people that have been investing for a long time. You know, fundamentals don't change, systems and procedures do. So no matter what level real estate investor you are, you're going to get something out of this event.
Absolutely.
I know it.
Absolutely. So what are we going to talk about next? Let's talk about the power of scripts. Okay.
Scripts.
There's many different kind of scripts you can have. if you are brand new, if you're just getting started, you must have a script. Now, I don't want you to necessarily read from the script, but I want you to have the script in front. Would you hand me that right underneath that little slice right there? That's our script.
This is our new one.
Yeah, that's our new script. So this right here is a brand new set script. See,
it's like a pamphlet. It's like a book.
It's a pamphlet.
He handed that out. It was like 12 pages. I'm like, what are you supposed to do for 12 pages on a phone call? Just sell me the house.
So I told my guys, I said, look, I don't want you guys reading. I told my people, right?
My minions.
I told them, you were in that meeting too.
I know. I'm the lead minion.
So I told everybody, I said, I don't want you reading this, but I want you to have certain parts that you highlight, right? Like, for example, if you're on the phone with somebody and you find out they have a lot for sale. Now, we will buy lots, right?
Maybe.
But I'm not going to pay very much for them at all, okay? In fact, most of the lots that people, most of the people that are selling lots, they're lots in older established neighborhoods. Maybe the houses are 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, and nobody wants to build a new house next to an old house, right? Next to an old 2-bedroom, 1-bath mill house, right? So we have a script in here where if they have a lot, it says, unfortunately, you know, we don't really buy many lots because there's really no way for us to improve the value and make any money. Plus, they can take 2 or 3 years to sell. Having said that, most of the people who really want to sell those lots and they need the cash right now, we can typically pay maybe about 10 to 20% of the current value, which ends up being about $500 to $1,000. If you still want to sell your lot and you want to get cash and we pay closing costs, then I'll be glad to get Larry on the phone with you. So that's kind of that script in a roundabout way. But that way, I'm not on the phone with somebody with a lot that says, well, the tax value is $15,000. You know, that's how much I want. I don't want to talk to that person, right? Which, by the way, there's another script here that if every time I pulled out a drawer to put my foot on it, and look what Kandas put. Kandas put this in there.
The rubber snake. So this rubber snake travels around. This is Cornelius Betacunis here in progress, still living in our hearts. He had this in a spider. The spider left with him. Now the snake travels around the office to different areas, different locations, people's desk, under phones, in the refrigerator. It just goes wherever. And Larry, instead of re-hiding it, has captured it. And holding it in the drawer.
It's funny. I told her the other day, I said, I reached in the drawer to get some almonds out, and there was a snake there, and I just ignored it. It's been around so long, I just ignored it. And she said, I put that there.
That's right. I was one. Typically, you're not supposed to know who puts it where. It's just supposed to show up, and then you re-hide it. But yeah, I'll claim it. I'll put the snake in the drawer.
That was hilarious. So speaking of tax value, back to the scripts. If somebody says, you know, because in our script it does say, what do you think the property's worth? Well, or you could also say, you know, what's the least amount you'll take for your property, or what were you thinking you needed to get for a quick cash sale as is, right? So if they mention tax value at all, because some people will say, well, the value is X, and my immediate response is, now, how did you come up with that number, right? How did you come up with that number? So if they mention tax value, we have a script here for that. It basically says, well, tax value is just what you pay your taxes on. It has nothing to do with the market value. What we really have to look at as far as what you can sell your property for is what other buyers have actually paid for and closed on a look, Linda. Hey, Linda, how are you? Y'all in that snake.
She knows.
She does know about the snake. That's funny. So if they say tax value, I'll make a comment that says, hey, I've paid 10 times tax value and I've paid 10% of tax value as well. So tax value is really irrelevant. But what we really need to do is get on the computer and take a look and see what other similar properties are selling for. And then I pull up the property And I give them specific addresses. I say, this house right here, 125 Oak Street, it's sold for $15,000. 235, Ridge Road, it's sold for $12,000. Such and such. And I'm picking the lowest ones. Guys, that's what I do. I pick the lowest ones. And then I subtract out their repairs, and I tell them what they're probably going to be able to sell their house for based on the condition of the house and what others' houses have sold for. So guys, you also need scripts. You need questions, handling objections. What if they say, well, I got to talk to my spouse, or let me think about it? There's all different kind of things you need to have in your scripts. You need to have an introduction, right? Like in this script right here, this is a set script. This is not even what I say. This is what everybody says before it even gets to me, because I'm the closer, right? They're the setters. They set everything up for me, okay? So this is everything they go through before it even gets to me. So they've got an introduction, a warm-up, right? I mean, first thing is the contact information, right? It's the contact information. We want to get their phone number, their home, their work, their mobile number. We want to get their email address. We want to get everything. We want to
anything
verify
that you can.
Anything that you absolutely can, right? And after you get their contact information, then we're going to talk about the property, right? We want to get some regular property information. I call it the pedigree of the property, right?
That's what you say.
That is what I say. That's what you say. So then we talk about the pedigree of the property. Is it listed with the realtor? How many bedrooms? How many baths? Blah, 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 all that good stuff. And then after that, now, if the property is vacant, we need to ask them certain questions. If the property is vacant, we ask questions like, how long has it been vacant? When was the last time you went inside the house? Because typically it's been our experience that a house that's been vacant for 2 or 3 years goes downhill really, really fast, right? So if it's rented, we ask specific questions about that. Like, is it rented month to month, or do you have a lease? Are the tenants current? How long has the tenant been there? Do they pay on time? And if we're going to sell it with a tenant in it, we need to know all the expenses. So we ask, what are the taxes and what is the insurance, right? Very, very important, right? And a couple other things on vacant. How long has it been vacant? How many bedrooms does the house have? It's been oh, we've already went through that, right?
Is this your edited version?
No, maybe. I don't know. How did you acquire it? Is there a mortgage on the house? And if so, what's the balance? Are the payments current? Are they behind? How far behind are you? All that good stuff. And then we have the condition of the house, right? This is where we're going to go through and find out about the condition. Now, I want you to listen to this. This is the paragraph that they say before they start talking about the condition, right? It says, we have purchased houses in 12 different states, and the owner of our company has been helping homeowners for over 30 years. So we are actually going to make you a cash offer to buy your house before going to see it, right? Once we agree to buy the house and you agree to sell us the house, we will send out one of our field inspectors to take pictures and determine the exact condition and repair cost for the house. In the meantime, it's very important that I get a realistic picture regarding the exact condition of the house so that we don't move forward with an agreement to purchase your house that we will later have to change or cancel because of missing or inaccurate information. Does that make sense? Right? So this is kind of a setup for be honest with me, right? That's really the whole purpose of that.
We had the phrase, I need you to be honest with me in one of our last scripts. You didn't like how that was going. And it almost put people on the defensive, like, well, what do you mean? Why would I not be honest with you anyway? Type of a thing. Right. So changing the verbiage, I think, will keep them talking a little bit more.
And then the very last thing in that little blurb is, and Bob or seller, no one knows more about your house than you do, right? And the first question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being perfect condition, how would you rate the property's interior? And then we go through everything inside the house. And then we go through everything outside the house, right? And then we start talking about the seller's motivation, right? So what's going on right now in your life that has you wanting to sell, right?
Yes, Sean, it raises their red flags. Right.
Yeah, exactly. So, how soon do you want to have the house sold for cash? Have you thought about what you're going to do if you don't sell it? That's a really, really, really good question. Look, Julie's on. What's up, Julie? How are you? Look, Julie from our attorney's office.
Hey,
what's happening?
I don't know if you heard, but it wasn't last week because I was out last week. I was sick. But the week before, I gave my paralegal in North Carolina a shout out. Miss Julie.
There you go.
Just to show you.
There
you
go.
You can go 2 shows back and hear the original one.
Yeah, don't listen to last week. We only had 6 shares and 4 of them were mine. Because I did it by myself, right?
That's right.
So anyway, let's get back to the script. Motivation. We have a category for motivation in the script right here, right? And I have my little notes on it because these are some edits I'm going to make after our meeting yesterday. But so I like to ask the question, or they ask the question, what's going on in your life right now? How's you thinking about selling the property, right? How soon would you like to have the cash, right? Look, Julie says thank you. Are you texting?
I am. What are you doing? I have a seller that's got an issue, and
all of our sellers have issues.
No. Well, I mean, my
right?
sellers, yes, but my sellers I like. I'm trying to solve their issues. So it'll just take me just a second while you're doing the script.
So if we ask them what they're going to do if they don't sell the property, if they say I'll probably just rent it out, then we automatically ask about seller financing, right? And if they'd be interested or ever thought about seller financing, that's something I'll talk to them about more. Whose name is the house in? Is there anyone else? And is there anyone that would be upset if you're selling the property? Right? I really like that question. Is there anybody that would be upset that you're selling the property? Right? Look, can you afford not to sell this property immediately?
That's a good question.
That is a great question. Is there anyone else that would be involved in the decision making? And then we get to price, right? Price. I love this question right here. What's more important to you? Getting a quick cash sale as is, or getting the best price, even if you have to fix up the property and wait a while for the right buyer to come along, right? What's more important to you? Getting a quick, as is, cash price, or getting the best price, even if you have to fix it up and wait a while to find the right buyer?
Now, one of the great things about where this part of the script is placed is it's after you've already been through and had them walk you through almost a virtual tour of the property. Everything that's wrong with it. So they can't now not think that there's nothing that needs to be rehabbed on it because they've just told you everything that needs to be rehabbed. And you can kind of push on that pain a little bit as to how long it would take to get those repairs done, how much it's going to cost, to get them to agree with you on the price of what they think those things would cost and that type of thing. So this part, the price being after all of the condition stuff, I really like that question being right here.
Exactly. And there's just several other questions like how what's the least amount you'll take? How did you come up with that price? And then we go through another little thing. Hey, what's going on? How are you?
Manny says, what if the seller is analytical?
Then you have to talk in analytics.
You do. You have to talk in analytics. So sometimes what happens is, yes, you get an analytical seller, and so you have to be very precise and you have to talk in analytics. Sometimes you get a seller that is emotional, right? They've got an emotional attachment to the house. You're not going to be able to rationalize prices with them because they already have a price tied to that property. They're not seeing everything that's wrong with it. They might not even live in it or have been in it in a long time and have no realistic perspective of the way things actually are. So those are a few things that you're going to have to encounter, but you'll just have to try to address those, validate them, but then address as well.
For example, I had a guy on the phone on Monday, right? And when you get an analytical person, those are typically like engineer type people. Mm-hmm. I had this guy on the phone and I could tell that's the way he was. So I pulled information out of him and I used his numbers, right? For example, I said something like, what do you think it would take to get this property? If I hired a licensed, bonded, and insured contractor, had him go over there and take care of all these things that you told me, how much do you think it would cost? He said, I don't know, 20 to 22,000. So I used 20, right? I used 20. right? Look, eat it. Keep the snake with Larry when I visit. It's not real.
It's not real. It's a plastic rubber snake thing.
It's not real.
It floats around. Let me tell you something. If the snake was real, it would not be here. That would have been gone a long time ago.
That's true. What was funny was the day I went to get some almonds out of the drawer, I just opened it up, picked up the almonds and closed it. I'm like, I think there was a snake in there. I mean, that's how, second nature it is to us now. Anyway, so I had this guy on the phone. I used his numbers. I used his number on the after repaired value. I used his number on the amount of repairs. And I just took, it was $70,000 was the ARV after repaired value. And I subtracted out the repairs. And then I subtracted out the closing costs, because you can tell about any seller, it's going to take about 10% to sell your property, right? So I took 70,000 minus 7. So now I'm down to 63,000. I took out another 20,000, right? Now I'm down to 43,000. And I said, look, if I was to buy your property, if I was to fix it up and sell it, I ought to be able to make at least $15,000, right? So, and he agreed. He said, yeah, that's respectable. So I'm down to 43. So now I'm down to 33, and now I'm down to 28,000. I say, okay, if I pay you 28,000, I can hire a contractor, fix it up, put it on the market, and somewhere between 6 to 12 months from now, I'll find a buyer. I'll get a buyer. Then I'll pay the real estate commission and closing costs, and I'll end up making $15,000 in the next 6 to 12 months, right? And that was the number. And he said, yeah, that sounds reasonable. Let me talk to my wife and make sure that we can go that route. And I'll let you know, because I sure don't want to fix it up.
Right.
So I had to justify the analytical person with numbers, right?
And so, I mean, and it's not a big deal to do it like that. That's how we back down to get our price to offer anyway. It's not, most people just don't require that level of detail.
That is true. That is true. And then the last section is the wrap up in the set script. Okay. It's just, how you listen to this question. Is there anything else that we need to know about the property or about your situation? That's pretty much a catch-all right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they say, I've had people say stuff like, yeah, let me tell you about Uncle Ron. Uncle Ron lives in the house, although Grandma gave it to me and I can't get him to move out. Is that good to know?
We should have known that at the beginning of the call.
I know, right? So this is kind of the wrap up, is a transition where they say, okay, I think I have all the information that I need for now. We need to look over the information you gave me, do some research on the property, and Larry will call you back to go over the information and make you a cash offer to buy your house. He will probably call you back tomorrow or the next day. He's very busy. By the way, and then it goes on to like, if you get a call from an 803-831 number, please take the call, please answer it. And also there's the last section here says, in fact, I think Larry just got off the phone. If I'm off the phone, right? If they don't hear me in here talking, because I'm on the speakerphone all the time, mm-hmm. right? I don't pick up the handset. I'm on the speakerphone. So if they don't hear me talking, they're supposed to say, in fact, let me see if Larry's available right now. If so, he can look over the information with you on the phone and give you a cash offer before you hang up. How does that sound? Hold on a second. Let me grab it. Right? And then they just live transfer it right to me. Right? And then I'll buy the property. So there you go for the power of scripts right there. You need to have a script for each section. You need to have a set script, a close script, a buy script, and a sell script. Well, same thing. A buy script to buy houses, a set script for that, and then a script to sell houses, and a script for what else? I think that's about it. Cold call script is going to be a little different if you're doing cold calling. Mm-hmm. If you're doing cold calling, but that's our latest pamphlet.
Script pamphlet.
That's our latest script pamphlet right there. So yeah, what else we have to talk about?
We've already talked about. Let's see. We talked about the 3-day event. We've got another. Oh yeah, partner event will be a completely separate thing from what's happening next week. Is education. The next partner event is going to be in March. For you guys to find out more information about that, just go to larrygoins.com/apply, and one of the guys can get you more information on that. That's where you're here in the office for 3 days, working with Larry and actually applying all the education that you have learned to actual business practices and getting things up and running and off the ground and making your phone ring so that you can start making money.
I told Kandas today, and I think yesterday too, I'm like, I got all these students that were here 2 weeks ago, and they're wearing me out this week.
Everybody's got leads.
Because everybody's got leads. They got calls coming in. They're negotiating deals. They're on the phone. They're doing business. I love it. I love it. So yeah, if you want to apply to work with us and partner with us, we'll make your phone ring off the hook, right? And then I'll help you get deals from that, right?
That's right. Manny wants a deal of the week.
He wants the deal of the week. Guys, the deal of the week. Okay, we're going to do that. Please share if you want to win this. We're going to pick a winner from probably, there's usually about 10 or 15 or 20 people that share this. So that share our video. So if you share, we're going to pick a name to win the real estate day trading and jumpstart. Okay. Deal of the week. We did a lot. Remember that lot we did?
Eureka, I don't know. Hold on one second. I don't know if this script is in the Dropbox yet.
Yes, it is.
Okay. I was going to say, well, there's some edits to it that he needs to make if it's already in there, because we just had a meeting about it yesterday.
Yeah, Eureka. Yes, the script is in the Dropbox. That's the first thing I did was put it in the Dropbox.
Good.
After I finished it. So all of our partners that's in our partner program, you guys all have access to that. Okay. So you guys can all go grab that. Yes. So a deal of the week. Deal of the week. Man, we got one deal where we're paying we're just taking over their loan, not taking over their loan, but they were paying their loan balance, right? I wrote up the deal. The purchase price is the loan balance, the balance of the loan, not to exceed, I think it was $11,000.
And sometimes that's all people need is to get them out of the problem that they're having. Part of the first part of the script, it asks about their current situation, when we recap that in the wrap up. But the first part, it asks them kind of the same question a little bit different way. And then you can ask them, how long's that been going on? So you're trying to get that pain initially and then press on it a little bit. And sometimes people just won't out from under what is currently going on. And in this situation, a payoff is what it's going to take to buy the house, and it's a good deal.
And I got another one I want to mention is a deal of the week, too. I could do 2 or 3 deals of the week, but all my deals are good. Anyway, so
okay.
Notice how she just ignored me when I said that. So anyway, Dennis is having trouble accessing the Dropbox. Dennis, shoot me an email. You know how to reach me. And you know what to put in the subject line. Shoot me an email, and I'll make sure we get you access to the Dropbox. Okay.
That's another thing. While you mention that, because you have access directly to Larry, make sure that you guys ask your questions and things. Obviously, making sure the script is in the Dropbox is not what I'm talking about. But if you're having issues with something, make sure that you reach out to the correct person. The 877 Larry Go number that we put on here is not for partners to call and ask questions. It's not for students to call and ask questions. It's not a customer service number. It's almost like an order line number. If you want to register for the event, if you want the investor's kit, it's an action line, right? So if you're calling 877 Larry Go, there needs to be some type of action you need to do. You won't get Larry. You won't get me. You won't get customer service. It's going to be, do you want the investor's kit? Do you want to register for the event? Or things like that. You guys make sure you utilize our other contact information to get your specific questions if you're having an issue solved. Right. Just want to throw that out there because Z's being bombarded with stuff that has nothing to do with getting an investor's kit or registering for the event or anything like that.
Right. If you're the partners, you have this number right here. Right?
And his email.
And we're in my office right now, and you know how to reach me, right? So anyway, there you have it. But what else was I going to talk about?
Is submit a property site only for North and South Carolina properties only.
You can submit a property at submitaproperty.com for anything. We'll take a look at it. We have bought and sold houses in 12 different states, but we focus on the Carolinas.
Right.
Right. So what else was it we were going to talk about?
We got the 3-day covered. We got the next partner program covered.
Sure.
We talked about the share.
Oh, was there another deal of the week? I did another deal I wanted to mention. I mentioned that a minute ago. I had another contract that I wrote up this week that the guy just wanted to walk away with $4,000. He had a little bit of back taxes. He had a couple of liens, right? He had a couple of liens, judgments, and they were like $16,000-$17,000, right? But I knew that I wanted to negotiate them down to about $500 or $1,000 a piece. So the way I wrote up the contract is the purchase price is $4,000 net to the seller, and the buyer will take care of all of any back taxes, liens, or judgments.
Right.
Right. So I wrote it up that way. So if I negotiate all those judgments down to $100, then I'm paying $4,100 for the house.
Right.
Right. So, but he knew that the liens and judgments were like 18, 19,000, whatever it was. So in his mind, he's selling the house for 18,000 plus $22,000. But in my mind, I'm buying it for around $5,000.
Right.
Right.
For whatever because we can get the judgments are old, the liens are old. We can get those negotiated down just because of the time frame that it's been since anything has happened on them.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Penny wants to talk about the blood drive.
What
I
blood
can't
drive?
give blood drive. I can't give blood.
We don't have a blood drive scheduled right now. We did
They
one.
won't let me. I tried.
Well, you're a lot better hydrated now than you were last year when you tried to give blood.
My blood clotted.
His body said no.
My blood clotted halfway through it. And they had to throw
it
away
wasn't
the whole,
even half. It wasn't even halfway through. It wasn't even halfway through. They started trying to get blood from him when I started giving blood. So I'm laying there. Now, half the time I was giving blood, they were trying to find a vein to get blood from him. Then they got a little bit out, and then they couldn't get any more. They couldn't put that back. So they just kicked him off the bus.
They got about a ramekin out of it.
They just kicked him off the bus. Now I don't have another blood drive scheduled for this year yet. Not sure if we're going to do that again or not. Right now I'm trying to get up with the Rock to see how we can help them out. It's a local community center in Rock Hill, South Carolina, that we want to get involved and do some stuff with. So there may be some interesting news coming up about opportunities for what we're going to be doing with them, and maybe how you guys could join us, help out on the days that we'll be there.
Exactly. Well, guys, I think that's it. Please share for an opportunity to win the real estate day trading and jumpstart course, right? And we'll mail it to you. That's all you got to do is share. We're going to pick one of the share winners. Right?
That's it.
That's it. It's that simple, right? $297 value right there. Take it away, right? So all right, guys. This is Angel calling. I got to take this call. He's at a house.
All right, guys. We'll see you
Thanks
next
a
week.
lot.